we've seen that BHOP Esports and Sojoga GG have been quite fervent in their wins. Sojoga taking down Strife and then just making their way over here towards the finals. And on the other side, BHOP Esports being invited and have demonstrated why they have been doing such a good job and why they deserve that. So straight into the game, the fact that both of these teams are starting off very, very strong with BHOP Esports taking it over Sojoga. Let's see what it has in store because now Dust2, that fan favorite map, is the one where we duke it out. What could be Sojoga GG's final map.
Indeed, reminder that this is a best of 3 series, not best of 5, best of 3. And it's single elimination, meaning that there's no resets to be held here. Whoever wins, and that's about it. BHOP Esports definitely a more pristine position to take it all. And now they're starting on CT side here in Dust2. They were forced to do a full rotation through the south. They take down Tatizen, but that was Swan's doing, as now Mouth is trying to hold off this push, but they will not find success as it's all coming down to PRT. He did plant the bomb already, so Sojoga needs that defense from PRT. Will he be able to take them all down? He will not. This will be the first defuse, and BHOP Esports starts out with a bang, neutralizing Sojoga's plant.
Yep, and we do see already a bit of a swap in regards to weapons, and seems like Beaky opted to go with the auto for this first round, which is something that we don't tend to see quite a lot. But obviously, I mean, if it works, who's going to say something about it, right? And now, speaking of the same player, we do see that he did buy a Kevlar and a helmet, and he's going with the MP9, which is great at rushing within these points. So if anybody from Sojoga is wanting to go with more so of a semi-buy or something like that, or a force buy, we will be seeing them on deck because we do see already Moth with the AK-47 and on the other side, PRT with the Galil. So let's see if Biki's choice right here in regards to that SMG will bear fruits, as we do see Tedison coming up from his spawn and just taking it a little bit slow. You can see here trying to go anywhere through top mid and smoking off Xbox to avoid anybody that may be holding that angle with, or maybe something, you know, like a long distance rifle such as a scout or something like that, and just simply patiently going up this way. As you see here, Sojoga actually adapted and not going for long doors anymore, as we did see last time that they were struggling quite a bit, but Swan already holding that angle with the scout. So we do see the smokes going off right there in the flash in order to stop any sort of advancing, but we already see the util flying, high flying true. Everybody's been blinded for a good amount of time, and now finally, literally all that left is smoke and ashes while the flames arise, trying to get onto site.
Flames taking a bit of a back seat though, as nobody's throwing any more util, pretty much out of it too. Speaky's the only one left with a smoke, but this is going to be the start of a massacre. Swan and Aris both went down. Sojoga has the chance to go in for the plant as they keep winning these trade wars, and Red is the last one remaining. He takes down Landon though. That's a very good kill to get. Problem is, he is now covered from all 3 fronts by Sojoga's own team members. So really not much of a chance. If he moves forward, he will be covered by Mouth. If he moves back to the tunnel, it seems to be the safest option. And he will go underneath the bridge back to ramp. He took down Tatizen as well, but unfortunately not enough to bring everybody else down. BHOP and Sojoga back to even 1-1. Just the beginning deal, but already showing that neither team is going to let the other get a big lead forward.
Naturally, and we've seen before that whenever one team wins the first round, it's generally a bit of a harder time for the losing team to get that second one. However, Sojoga actually played this pretty well with that force buy. Whenever they noticed that they were going to struggle, they said, you know what, let's not risk it at all. And that's exactly what we're seeing here, as they did and change within that first round. The adaptation within rounds is very, very nice, and we already see that on behalf of BHOP Esports. We see a good amount of people already stacking near the A sites, mostly within short, a couple of them within side, of course. But This calls for a bit of adaptation. We do see somebody right there with the scout, and it is Swan, the one who's forced to reposition later on within there. And we do see Landon taking a bit of a hefty blow, and everybody else just rotating towards the side. Flashes flying, and it seems like the 4th of July at this point, but it seems like somebody did get hurt, and it is Moth taking down Silas. And on the other side, Swan goes down as well.
Will Beekeep, Brett, and Ares find the push? It seems that Ares, at the very least, will be taken down as Beaky and Brett are forced to back down. Oh, that was a big peek from DZT. Could have been caught on his backside, but there was no shots being thrown from Beaky's side. Now he is the last one remaining. Not for long, though. Sojoga will find him back to their lead. Once again, not letting BHOP really push that far. I think one of the problems for Sojoga last map was that they ended up falling on their traps through the util. The very first rounds, I still think, are going to go much more evenly. But then there was this one time when Sojoga got 8 rounds in a row on their side. And then afterwards, they can only get 3 more. But they definitely have the power to keep pushing. And now they have the long-range kill power, too. Suicide seems to be a great spot for Landon to be in, as they're going to wipe out BHOP Esports on their attempt to move through mid. That was an absolute death zone, and BHOP will lose this round swiftly.
The fact that they were forced into an eco and they tried to go with an aggressive one as well, was their demise within that area, as the designated sniper within this round has been, of course, Landon from Sojoga. You saw that Suicide was just that prime peaking angle. Everybody right there within mid. We already see a lot of people holding on right there, and Landon already taking another one of them down. Not even 10 seconds into the game, and we already see BHOP Esports down a member. And on the other side, we do see Beaky right there with an op. Not a lot of util coming from the entirety of the team other than Beaky, but we do see 2 flashes within there. It doesn't seem like they're going to be used though, because on the other side, Tadazin takes him down. Right here, this mid area within mid doors has been quite important to take, and now that Sojoga has that area secured for them, as they know that nobody else is there, at least for now. Let's see what they have to do about this, as A site is completely free.
Don't think they have quite decided where to push, though. Still waiting to get some intel on mid doors. Tadazin does see Ares peek, but he is not able to find the proper angle in time as he is taken down. That was just a trade, though. Did not benefit BHOP Esports that much. Landon will clean up shop afterwards. And now they have a completely free entry towards A, as Brett is the only one who is still holding on to B. You can see him over there by the fence. But that's about it. Sojoga is gonna move forward with their 4th round victory. Brett can still try and have one last chance to defuse, but I think he's going to go in for the save. Wants to protect the C1S. Might even, well, he might have had a chance to move forward and pick up some of the weaponry that his teammates dropped, but not a shot anymore. He will go for the save. Sojoga not even going to try and go into Manhunt, it seems, as they do have some very valuable weapons, especially Landon, who will be behind on cross, covering for long A. And yep, not a single attempt at a push. That's 4-1 for Sojoga.
Yeah, but I thought that maybe we would see Brett attempt to get the op that Beaky dropped, right? The one that he dropped within the mid area, but it doesn't seem like that is the case. Within Sojoga's victory, we did see that they played it quite patiently. However, if there's anybody that we have to recognize within the last round is Landon, as he was able to land 3 consecutive shots with that op and take 3 members down as well. So it seems like right here the distance game is quite on the side of Sojoga, because that designated sniper, as we've seen right here, you already see Brett take a hefty amount of damage. At this point, you sneeze on him and he's dead, and that's all thanks to the fact that just Landon covering that angle right there within mid doors all the way from Suicide. It's just at this point, you know that the counter adaptation from BHOP Esports has to come in the form of maybe a smoke or flashing even, in order to avoid Landon from hitting those shots, because he was able to adapt and get a wall bang from that area in which Brett was heavily injured. And the fact that he had armor, well, it was good for him because it could have cost him his life. Now we do see that everybody from Sojoga, we already see that BHOP Esports is trying for a bit more of an aggressive push, and at that point it was Silas's task to actually trade off of his teammate right there with PRT, who gets negated, and once again Brett left alone with the biggest mountain of all to climb in regards to a comeback, which doesn't seem like he's going to do so. He's going to just hide over there near G-Spawn.
Sojoga has become the owners. Well, they have become the owners of the map, and especially mid, forcing BHOP to go for some very risky peaks. And it's always those long areas, right? Like, of course, long A itself is a big dead zone for BHOP if they try to push through it. Talked about mid already. And Brett forced to play defense once again, takes on PRT. DZT peeking, certainly found Brett already. He's gonna call for reinforcements as they might actually get an angle onto him. It's going to be Mouth. He will take Brett down. And so everybody from BHOP ends up falling on that round. Definitely taking a toll on their econ as Sojoga finds everybody and they get the money from the bomb exploding. Sojoga on a pristine position to make something happen, but BHOP is going to attempt for a full buy once again. Armed to the teeth, everybody has full util. All A1Ss and an AWP for BHOP, and all AK-47s and an AWP as well for Sojoga. So about as comparable as it's going to get Dio for a while. BHOP better make this work, and they are taking cover of A sites immediately after getting a rotation through, by the way, which is something they had not been able to do before. Sojoga had covered those tracks with their util. But now they are actually saving up a lot of util. You see Sojoga still in a very healthy position. Saving your util to the very end, especially those smokes, are going to make a big difference. We already see BHOP losing some of their heavy hitting smokes. And the frags, that's actually one frag left that Zwan has. Brett is going to cover nobody through that entrance in Dog. But Beaky will find Landon as he tries to peek on CT mid. So that's an advantage for BHOP, putting their util to good use. And now in a much healthier position, suddenly Sojoga decided to go all in on their util and all in on this push, and they will not be successful in it. PRT is going to run away with his life, but not for long. He only has 6 HP remaining. That's the round. Very solid from BHOP. The investment paid off.
Rightfully so. We did see that those loss bonuses started to count and started to make quite a bit of a difference as a util did fly. And now we do see that the first thing that they did differently within that round is that they would have smoke off suicide, right? They would have flashed and smoke off suicide because we saw that Landon was ever so deadly. And the moment that they did that, he was unable to get a single kill. So that counter adaptation will be starting right there, as the first jumping peak that we saw were obviously to get a little bit more of information right there, as we see Beaky just holding that angle once again to see if there's anybody that tried to go with the op. Of course, it seems like Landon has already changed his angle and now is preferring to cover a little bit more area near top mid, right? See if there's anybody he can get trying to get over aggressive through long doors or anything like that. But as he does hold that angle, we do see Moth slowly but surely approaching mid doors, throwing out a molly to see if there's anybody that is trying to get right stuff in the little crannies, trying to hold that angle right there within the little crannies. And it seems like the op war is won by Swan as Landon takes a headshot and goes down within this standoff. And on the other side, we do see somebody trying to approach through Cat, but the stairs have been smoked off. Nobody is allowing to come in. And once again, the smoke doing their stuff. The bomb has been retrieved, fortunately. But we do see Beaky trying to approach, as he does not know Titus is on the other side of Xbox.
Matter of time before this wall of smoke starts to shut in, but Beaky decides to give up on it. And Tadison will set up a flash trying to deter any more firepower coming through, but it will not help the other side as Brett is taking care of 2, now 3 team members from Sojoga. with some help from Silas as well and Eris. 2v1 situation. PRT can definitely make a clutch plant. We'll have to move in fast. He will get it, and he might have seen them coming, but he did not turn around in time. They will simply enter B sites, and that will be the defuse. Swan is gonna go on a hunt for any other weaponry, but he will keep his AWP as usual. AWP users have been so crucial this entire time. Dio, perhaps Swan is falling a little behind on kills, but the ones he does get are crucial.
Yeah, I mean, right there you saw that he was able to take down. Yep, he was able to take down just seeing the foot of Landon right there. So he did a good job, and the fact that Swan was able to entry so bravely through that smoke, regardless of what happened, was a sign right there saying that, you know, I understand that you guys have maybe have the advantage in regards to rounds, but we're not out of this just yet, and that's exactly what we're seeing on their behalf. Now that they're not forced into anything as of this moment, thanks to the advantage that they had previously. But we do see that a lot of areas have already been occupied by util and are forcing Sojoga to take a slower approach right here, as we're seeing them right here. Yep, trying to go with a bit of a totem peak, but nobody within there. As Swan covers the angle over there near Cat and just runs back as soon as he can over there toward site near default, and they're starting to go down long A, see if maybe there's anybody that they can catch right there lacking. But the thing is, mid is a very important area to take control of, especially within this map, simply because it allows for so many rotations and to catch them off guard. And that's exactly what we're seeing right here, trying to peek off of any a flash right there, a good flash, but not really effective as there. And DCT already holding that angle, which was double smoked off to avoid, like, this is like a very specific, we don't want you coming into the site coming from BHOP Esports.
Yep, they have definitely committed to defending A, as that's also a very dangerous zone to play, right? Because you have, when you get less team members, you will definitely see a number of them falling along A and CT ramp. That's just a given. They now, however, respond properly to this attempt at a B site push, and we are back to even in team members, but Landon will get the bombs planted. BHOP Esports now rotating slowly. They can't really go through the door nor window. Landon does not take the high ground, though. Very careful not to jump, as he knows somebody might be hiding behind that spot, waiting for the kill to come through. They take down Tadazan as well. Aris is pushing forward. Oh man, but the flashes will definitely hurt him. Mouth was covered on the other side though. And now it's all up to Landon, who will get the 2 kills. Super clutch from him. You saw Swan approaching him from the side, and it was at the end a showdown between the 2 AWP users. And Landon takes it, achieving 10 kills in the map so far. Same as PRT. And Mouth only one behind. The only one who's really falling back on the KD is DCT with only 1 and 5. But I repeat, Dio, Sojoga's team members don't die as much, which is crucial. You can see that especially on Mouth and Landon, as they have survived most of these rounds so far. We're now in round number 10, and it seems that once again, BHOP is ready to cover for 8. Nobody is moving through here. We are Las Divinas. Nobody comes through this esquina.
That is right, but right there is you need to check those esquinas, my friend. You need to check those corners, make sure that even though you clear it out, the verticality can sometimes catch you off guard, and that's exactly what the team member from BHOP Esports exploits. Beaky getting a double kill, taking down 2 of their members, especially a very important one, who was a designated op user, Landon. So we will see them try to rotate back as they are starting to reset the tempo for this moment. They just simply say, okay, you know what? We lost 2 of our team members, but this is still doable. All we have to do is just regroup and formulate a bit of a different strategy. A lot of util was already used on behalf of BHOP Esports, if any, that was used. So for starters, they do not know if there is somebody within the site. So they will have to play this very cautiously, as beforehand, this site was very heavily guarded. Let's see if that's what they're betting on. On the other side, we do see from BHOP Esports trying to catch if there's anybody on the in any area near B, and you see the flashes already fly. Seems like nobody's on site. Swan will be the one to try to get. Yep, but he is shot down, and the molly hinders him quite a lot, avoiding anybody from coming in near the area short A. But from the underpass, we do see somebody sneaking in. Who could it be? It's actually Brett, the one that tries to come in from there. And we do see the attempt of a totem push coming from BHOP Esports.
Molly set up so nobody can approach the bomb easily. But it's still going to be complicated to make this defense work. They will, however, make things even again as Silas peeks twice and PRT takes him down. Tadison is the last one left. He's going to be forced to move all the way back to mid. He saw Brett jumping. But Brett recognizes that there's no more time to go in for a defuse, even with the kit. So that bomb will explode. And Sojoga is going to earn another round to their name. And I insist, Tadison saw him. Had there been a bit more time, we might have seen an attempt from Tadison to go in, meaning that Brett would have had to peek, or else he would have gotten the headshot behind the head. But still, that's only another round for Sojoga as they get a 4-round lead. We are approaching the last third, playing T and CT on this side, rather on this half of the map. And we see Lennon, he definitely saw a few people peeking, but he did not shoot his shot in time. He whiffed. And on the other side, Swan ended up losing as he was trying to go for a showdown against Landon. And that's the first kill of the round. BHOP not looking good at the very start, and they might even lose another team member here as PRT is covering this exit. But Aris does not give up another inch. We are back to the regular old showdowns, and Silas takes down Tadison. But still, a majority to Sojoga.
Right there, and then we do see Brett go down as well. The thing is, I find it very, very impressive that Landon has constantly been the initiator within these maps, right? He's been the one to get the most kills, and we do see on the other side Beaky with an off. But Landon has mostly, the uppers have been extremely important, like you mentioned, but specifically like Landon, you see that he was the first one to get the kill right there off of Swan within mid, right? He was the first one to get off the kill off of Swan within mid, and getting the triple to close up the round. Not only that, but the moment that the team saw, okay, they're a team member down and that team member was covering mid, they started to approach mid with a bit more of a leisure, right? Because they were like, okay, you know what, we can get this, no problem right there. We do see it right there, Landon with the kill on Eris, and even though Beaky almost did take down Moth, right there on the other side, Landon was ever so ready to catch anybody that was locking in. Unfortunately, was the last team member alive for BHOP Esports. So Sojoga GG already placing them within the advantage. This is looking like something that could go towards the double digits as BHOP Esports is forced into an eco round now. However, they are approaching Cat, so this is a bit more of an aggressive push. Last time that they try this, immediately shut down by Sojoga. Let's see if they have anything of difference right here as Tadison staying behind, yup, and able to catch them with the counter flank, and one would dare say. And right there, 3 of the team members from BHOP Esports go down, and Beaky not hitting the shot that mattered right there on the team members from Sojoga, while Landon just blows Eris's brains out with that headshot. Now this is basically a free entry onto site. Beaky has already been flushed out, but let's see if he's able to take the kill. Not quite yet. Landon once again with the double. And that's why he's placing himself within the top leaderboard within frags.
Indeed. That's what you love to see from Sojoga's side. You can constantly feed those kills and those rotations into your AWP user. That's when you know you're in for a treat. Great display of skill in general from Landon. Now he is back on the AWP for one more round. Just 3 more to go on this side. And Sojoga seem to be trying to bring this to a decider map, which, reminder, will be Inferno if we do get to see it. But Sojoga came back from this deficit, this exact deficit against BHOP Esports last map. I wouldn't count BHOP out just yet, but Sojoga is trying to reach the double digits. Silas peeking ever so slightly takes down PRT, but he will be covered from the other side as Landon catches him. Surprise, surprise, we still have a lot of util to go through as well, as Tadison is going to set up the frag. He will not get Brett. And instead, Brett is gonna go in, take down Tadazin, and Ares will cover the doors. Mid doors will be the dead zone for PRT. Suddenly not looking so easy for Sojoga as they're back to even. And they do find Brett though, meaning that they have free entryway towards B side. Mouth recognizes this, but Ares will rotate accordingly. More util being set up. They're going to cover only one of the entryways through B doors. They still have to worry about Ares, and he will take down Tadazin. It's Ares against Mouth. Who picks first? It's going to be Ares with a 2v1 clutch.
Good stuff from Ares right there. He noticed that the angles that he had to cover were very difficult behind that box. So he said, yeah, you know what? Let me just go ahead and get a little bit of a height advantage. Cover those angles simply by just staying there. And you see, he heard that there was an approach coming from the last remaining member of Sojoga. And that's why he opted to do that. It was quite a very smart tactic in a way, because he covered everything with that jump, and the fact that it's a lot difficult to actually shoot up to the head whenever you're on the lower angle per se, while it's a lot easier to hit the head of of the person within that you're above, right? So because you just simply look down, and that's the first thing you see. So good stuff coming there from Brett with the 2v1. And on the other half, we see, like, for example, already coming with the clutch situations. This is the round that it was just very, very difficult coming from BHOP Esports. But later on, this is where they were just simply funneling within that area. Even though PRT was able to take down Brett, yep, just the last remaining team members sweeping up what was left of final member alive. So now we're going in, and we do see somebody right there with the P90, and it doesn't seem like it's very lethal, as he does go down off. But DCT getting the double, not getting the double right there, but making it 2 of the members that go down as he avenges Moth's death, and it was Beaky. So Beaky hasn't had the most stellar performances. However, it seems like, well, within this, just a bit of a slow start. We have seen a lot of players soon beforehand that have slow starts, and let's just hope that that is the case as well for Beaky.
Indeed. He should eventually pick up the pace, but him and Zwan are definitely falling behind. On Sojoga's side, it's only DZT, and he is tied with Zwan on kills, but many less deaths. Speaking of deaths, they might just get another one onto Brett, or Brett will get a multi-kill here as they're going for a collective push, moving through the upper B tunnels, trying to find their way in for another B rotation. Brett should give the intel. He has a very good angle, but they find him covered as he was hiding in closet. And the rotation is coming through. Actually, no. It seems that BHOP is gonna take their sweet time. Now the bomb's planted, but as you can see, Dio, it seems that they're gonna go in for a save. They're trying to take their AKs to the next round. So yeah, not much of an attempt here. Sojoga burning through the remainder of their util. Will not find any effect, but BHOP willing to let this one go. Sojoga will achieve the double digits before the side switch. We're gonna have one more round before the side switch as well. So Sojoga definitely wants to make the best of what they have here on T-side. T-side has been great for them all around. But will they do the same on CT? Still, double digits, as we said. The Brazilian team is looking close to making this go to a decider map.
You see that retreat coming from both Ares and Silas coming from BHOP Esports was very smart. Was very, very smart. Why? Because they were aware of the eco that their team has, and they're like, okay, if we keep our weapons, we can either keep them and then buy util, or maybe buy a rifle or something like that for our team. As you can see, that was a very nice decision, as they are very, very strapped, not up to the brim, right? Not, of course, with everything that as one would like it, but they do have a good amount of util that is used very, very well right there, just covering that angle in Suicide. However, it seems like Landon opting to get on top of that box within Suicide and see if there's anybody that he can catch lacking within the op angle right here. So that tactical retreat coming from BHOP Esports was very smart, and let's see if that helps them out. If they do go 10-5, it's quite doable still. It's just 5 rounds of a difference, because you know that once it goes 11, it'll be 7. It'll be 4 to 11. So it becomes a lot more difficult to get in those rounds within a row. But, you know, people tend to say that this is a CT-sided meta. It doesn't seem like that is the case. At least that's not what Sojoga GG believes.
And Sojoga trying to make the best of the angles they do have. Mouth is going to stop Beaky, but he forgets to peek again. And Swan will end up getting a trade here. Silas is gone. And I don't think there is much room to cover for BHOP Esports as they're down to their last two again. Brett even blinded behind mid doors. He will not give up his location though. He is still hiding behind there. But Sojoga definitely gave up on that attempt. Oh, Landon though. Will he find any kills here? Apparently not. And Ares is the last one left. As BHOP will end up going to the side switch with most likely a 7-round deficit. Unless Ares went on a tear here, but he will not. That's the end of this half, everybody. Sojoga 5 rounds away from making this go to a decider map.
And let's see what BHOP Esports has to say about this now that the side switch is coming along. We do see that generally tactics, obviously, and to end up changing whenever somebody is on the attacking side, on the defending side, because they are two completely different playstyles. Sojoga GG has demonstrated that they're beasts on the offense. Let's see if the offense is the best defense metaphor comes into play here as well. Sojoga GG, we did see them that within the last map, Ancient, it didn't seem like they had the best time because they had not played within that map within a good amount of time. So it seems like they did catch it off Storm. That did catch them and they were caught off by Storm. So now that they have an area that they're a bit more familiar with, naturally, you can already see within their playstyle, playing a lot more confident, taking, you know, those fights in which still a 1v1, possibly a 2v1 in those situations. But the fact that they have their teammates behind them, that's why they're still grinding right here. So let's see if BHOP Esports, who also has a good amount of experience within this map, if I do see here, they do have some experience within the last 3 months. Not their best map. It is Dust2. With little under 30% of a win rate. But let's see if they can actually change that right here. As we're seeing, so everybody just rushing on the side near right there through Cat. And we do see just a lot of shots being hit, especially the ones that went through DZT's head as he does go down. But Ares already taken down another and Ares being taken down by a member of the Brazilian team. And now let's see if they can approach to site and within time to be able to defuse, because it's not only that, you have to take down the last two team members that are also protecting the bomb.
Protection will not come through anymore. They have to peek, and through that forceful peek, they're going to end up losing Swan. And it's all down to Silas, who will go down as well. So Sojoga earn another round, and this was the pistol round on the side switch. You know, BHOP Esports still has access to some tactical pauses. If I were them, I would go for some. As it seems like the momentum... Oh, man.
Oh,
man.
Look at you. Commentator's
look
curse.
at that.
What kind of Nostradamus gift do you have right here, being able to predict a future tune? I mean, I guess at this point, it seems like you understand the game better than I do because you called for that tactical pause, basically. Good stuff. Good stuff. I do have to agree with you. The fact that they were able to get this tactical pause off right here is very important. Why? Because it allows them to regain a little bit of momentum that they lost. BHOP Esports isn't looking too good now that the pistol round ended up not going within their favor. And you know that if they force buy within this round, and if they don't win the next one, they will be forced into an eco. And that's already 3 rounds lost within the half. And so you'd be down 14-4. 10 rounds is a very, very difficult mountain to climb up, especially with the weapons. You're not even climbing, you're crawling up a mountain.
Indeed. This differential between the two certainly seems like it's becoming unachievable. I would like to recall that Sojoga did bring it back after like 8 rounds. Being down like 7 to 8 rounds or something, but it's still not going to be particularly easy here for BHOP, as we do see Sojoga taking their stance already. Will you see BHOP getting any more kills? They hurt Mouth big time. He is quite lit. PRT is gonna end up falling. Man, he was speaking there for so long. That's him being a little bit careless. Landon will be taken care of as well. And Mouth, I think he might go for a save. If he finds Ares, though, I mean, getting the kill on Ares will be the clutchest one to get because he is the one planting the bomb. He will not stop that though. And so he does find him after the bomb was planted. Now it's all between him and Swan. And yes, he was his knees away from dying. So that will be the round. BHOP finally back on the scoreboard after losing so many consecutively. But Sojoga still has a 7-round lead. So they are in no hurry. They can still give up some rounds, if you want to call it that.
Yep, and right there, I do have to give it to Moth, even though he was down a lot of HP and really held back within that area that he was. It was just a difficult thing on the round. However, he was still fighting for his life over there within Ninja. And, well, if there's anything that I have to do recognize is the tenacity that Sojoga GG is having, even within these split situations. Even though Albright is hit quite a lot in that area, the Galil didn't seem to find its mark. And now Silas already going for a smoke to smoke off Catwalk. And now we do see that on the other side, Moth is still holding that angle within mid, but the firepower isn't really within their favor. And even though they do have something from Lander right there with the scout. Let's see, as Tadazin holds his very close angle and doesn't get the kill. And that is one less member, and we already see Moth running back onto site saying, hey guys, let's regroup as we have a full team coming up from here. And Landon with the scout could get something right here. It was very important as he is the only one with the rifle. Not quite hitting the shot that he needs.
It's quite sad when you really put all your eggs in that basket and they just end up whiffing. But Sojoga clearly recognizes that with the numeric disadvantage and with Landon not hitting that shot and very close to dying, it's better to just go for the save. And they will take shelter on B site. Now we only see PRT covering the entry through B doors. And Mouth is going to take care of window. BHOP doesn't seem to be on the right track to go for the manhunt there, though. Sojoga has definitely found a good hiding spot. And it's only a matter of time before the bomb ends up going off. So Silas is finally going to get out of there. Everybody's going to pit as well. So this is one of the more uneventful last seconds after the plant. But it's kind of what you expect as well. BHOP wants to bring this down to crawl as much as possible. It's super legit to ice your opponents out. And here Sojoga didn't have much of a response because of the kind of round that they were forced to play. Losing consecutively will definitely hurt your econ. And Sojoga seems to be going for the same strat, as only Landon will be equipped with a rifle. Everyone else on the same old. Tazin has a silencer, the USPS, but not much else, Dio. A lot of util that's kind of forcing BHOP to rotate elsewhere, so Joga kind of loses track of him. Either DCT sees them on his move, or Sojoga is going to get there a little too late. And I think it's already a little too late as the mollies are being set up, and BHOP has free entry towards A site for another plant. I don't think Sojoga is going to play for the save just yet. They can still get some kills. We do have even numbers, but the firepower definitely makes a difference. Nobody finding anybody from Sojoga either. Sojoga keeping track of their angles, though. Man, you definitely got to see DCT jumping through B doors that could have been bad for him. Lives on, but the showdown ain't over yet.
Not at all. We do see Swan take PRT down. And this is they were deciding whether it was good for them to hold on to that money or at least try it. But no, at this point, it doesn't really work out much for them. And on the other side, we do see Landon holding that angle with Yop. No, I'm sorry, not with Yop, with the scout. With the scout right there. So this was a tactical save once again. We only had one player that went down that last round. So Sojoga really knew that even though they retreated last round, well, the loss bonus wasn't really within their favor, right? So they did get another loss bonus here, and they're able to go out on a limb right there with a full buy. Let's see if that helps them out, as we do see Landon Still remaining with the scout, but just the util could mark the difference right here, because we did see that BHOP Esports, they got some rounds of their own, right? They got some rounds on their own whenever they were on the CT side, but right here, the rounds that they're making on behalf of the terrorist side, just on a completely different level, as DCT takes a hefty amount of damage, but landed finally. That's why he's demonstrating why he bought that scout, as he is able to take down Brett. But on the other side, we do see Silas take a good amount of damage off of the HE, and sneakily holding that angle off of the smoke on top of the box near pizza. And let's see. Oh, he did catch DCT off guard. He was able to blow off some shots, but not quite hitting their mark. And when the bomb has been planted, they are on a timer. Not a single kit within sight coming from Sojoga. So if they want to commit, they have to commit now.
Indeed, time is running out. And it seems that BHOP is swiftly moving towards another victory, an 8th round on their side. I told you, Dio, Sojoga made it back last map through a very similar deficit, and today we see, well, now on this map we see BHOP getting pretty much that same lead back, well, getting that same win streak back. This is their 5th one in a row, I believe. The side switch seemed like it was not going to benefit them that much, but Sojoga is slowly letting that CT side off there swindle away. Not the kind of game you want to be playing. But we still have some time, some rounds for Sojoga to burn, if they so wish to go for that. As we're getting into this buy phase, that's going to give Sojoga a bit more firepower. We'll see some replays from earlier rounds as well. Remember that BHOP was left with that 3-round score on their side for quite some time, but it's like we're seeing a completely different team in terms of morale. These guys and their coach definitely took that tactical pause to their fullest advantage. Now, I'm sure there was a speech in between that tactical pause. Like, morale for the teams can go south so fast. But when you have that good brotherhood, when you have that friendship, that really pulls through for you. And you can see it here as they slowly but surely are closing that distance in. Now only 4 rounds away. And slowly but playing better in general. I mean, I think they're baiting Sojoga into going where they want them to go. Those rotations are earning Sojoga nothing at all. It's just being a time waster for them, and that's exactly what BHOP wants.
Naturally, and I wanted to touch a little bit more into what you mentioned beforehand, right? That they had the round advantage in a way. And yes, you are completely correct. They do have that round advantage, but how much would those rounds last them, right? That's more so what I'm thinking right here. Of course, I don't necessarily mean, I do know how to count, but the thing is, how much can it last them before BHOP Esports starts to get so much momentum that it costs Sojoga more than what they can handle, right? Last time we saw that they, within the previous rounds where they saved off of a Nico, and now they were down 2 rounds, and now they're down just a bit more than what they have to. Oh, well, let me try to rephrase that here. Let me just try to organize that idea. I know I just said words right there. What I'm trying to say, basically, is that Sojoga GG does have the mentality of, okay, we do have a little bit of rounds to spare, so the fact that we get these losses is fine, right? But until what point will that mentality be effective, right? Because BHOP Esports is trying to capitalize a lot off of it, and we are seeing the effects right there, not only within the scoreboard, but within the mentality that's shifting and the aggressiveness that they're adopting. We already see a lot of them holding on and already have 2 members from Sojoga GG up against the wall right there on the ropes, and because within mid it is their terrain. But PRT says, you know what, you guys think you guys have us against the wall? Not at all. Here with the totem push, but the molly is good enough to flush them out, taking a good amount of damage, and PRT goes down.
PRT is indeed going to be the first one from Sojoga to fall, as Brett did so before from BHOP. Now BHOP actually being hurt big time though. Beaky barely hanging on to dear life. Brett, Silas, and Beaky are now down. Sojoga finally on track to claim another round, but they do forget that the bomb was still being planted. And Swan has a pristine angle to cover here. He might have seen Tadazin. I definitely saw Swan moving. He will take cover again by the big box. Ooh! takes on Tadison. It's all down to DCT. He seems to peek, but he will not catch him. Swan is gonna clutch things out for BHOP Esports. And the difference is now of only 3 rounds deal. Great work from Swan. He really put his team on his back. And with good firepower too, by the way, because, man, BHOP, had they lost the previous round, that would have been a very different weapon for Swan to have. But this guy will definitely equip an AWP here and make the most of it. Actually, a very similar distribution in terms of firepower. All AKs on BHOP, all A1Ss on Sojoga, and PRT barely living. Swan was already trying to go for the first blood right there, but still running away with it. PRT will definitely serve Sojoga to get some intel protecting B through window. Nobody seems to be moving forward though, as the shots are being called, and A sites will be the push for BHOP.
I just had a serious deja vu. I don't know if you saw that, but the fact that Swan peeked off of Suicide, he saw somebody right there jumping peek through mid doors and landed a wallbang shot, leaving him almost dead. That's exactly what Landon did against Brett within the last half. So I just had a little bit of a deja vu right there. Good stuff for him. He was able to debilitate one of the more important members, especially since that KD is impressive coming from PRT. And now they are able to flash away, and not necessarily onto side, but we do see the smoke in order to stop them. Silas gets blown back a little bit from that HE, but still holding the line to the offensive, to the position that they had. As he does retreat, we do see on the other side, Beaky trying to catch anybody right there through mid. He is able to see at least one person. Molly anybody out in case there's anybody within a little bit of that nuke and cranny right there in mid door. So that's a lot of people, and we do see the flank coming in. No more weapon status in, but you already did your job as you take down 2 important members coming from BHOP Esports, which is the Opper and the player with the most kills.
Now careful, because yes, Ares was definitely hurt on his landing from that jump, and Landon will take care of that sound from the landing. Quite literally, he is not being able to cover those 2 fronts though, as he is taken down. And Beaky is going to pick up his AWP, now with extra firepower, but Sojoga did end up closing out that round on the timer. That will be it for this one. Very interesting exchanges though. I definitely thought that DCT was going to get a few more kills through all that shooting, or it was Tadson, sorry, who just ran out of bullets. So yeah, being a bit more economical could have helped, but you were still being ambushed by 3, so what could you do? It was a do or die situation. He at least got 2 out of the 3 before falling himself. And now Sojoga did get an AWP back for Landon, but a reminder that Beaky is able to play the AWP side if he has access to one. So Sojoga definitely wants to protect Landon a bit more, and he is going to take cover by car. You already see him taking that angle. Landon will protect the entryway for A. Long doors seem to be a no-go for BHOP. And Dog seems to be a no-go as well, as all entrances seem to be covered. Sojoga earning just a bit more time for themselves. Another wall of smoke to prevent them moving through long doors. And the coverage from Landon will now shift focus towards the CT ramp, trying to look all the way towards CT mid. No more intel though, as only the util keeps flying through. Oh, but that might have given something away. The flash is going to blind DCT for a little while, and the damage starts to come through. Madison takes some, and he will not claim alive here. Landon ends up whiffing again. Back to basics deal as people are thinking of their push, but we do see the first kill come through. Tadison takes down Ares, and now he goes down as well. Silas took a lot of damage there, but it seems that the push will once again be for A, and Landon will get Fritz. I thought he was gonna get caught on the reload, but he takes down Silas as well. Not looking good for PRT. Oh no, wait a minute, that's almost a full massacre. Only DCT left, and that's the run for BHOP. What a comeback, what a turnaround of the situation.
Beaky did the best that he could within that situation, and it showed. The fact that he was able to get that prime positioning after he started to throw all that util over there towards the B site was very good. While everybody was stuck over there within long doors, we did see that he started to reposition in a better manner. And that's what gave them the advantage, as they were counting for the whole team to be there, since they had a good amount of time had already passed, but not quite the case, as BK was able to land a triple and reclaim the round for his team, which was ever so important. Now, we already see, I was just about to mention, Sojoga already within the eco round, and it seems like they're going for a bit of a more aggressive push, at least coming from Tadazin, who is blandishing just a good old pistol, nothing that you can't, just a regular P2. So just going back to the basics within the drawing board right here, I'm just trying to see if there's anybody that he can hit through that door. Smoke coming off of those bullets, but didn't smoke Tadazin himself, so he knows that they're there, and that's what he's calming off right here. But what can his team do with that information? They don't have a good amount of firepower, at least, but on the other side, we do see that they are trying to storm through stairs. It seems like they're going to be able to do so as the full team rotated. This was a full team rotation coming from Sojoga. Now, all of them are within long doors or within the general area of long A.
Ares is trying to get the switcheroo here. He does not find anybody, and he will get ambushed.
Oh my god.
Oh no, he actually took DZT down. 4 people were covering long doors. No one could take Ares down. Granted, they have very little firepower, but it's finally going down. 3 team members lost on Sojoga from that exchange alone, though. Or rather, two there and 1 more on Xbox. Not a good look for Sojoga in this round. They're slowly but surely saying goodbye to that lead of theirs. The bomb was already planted, and I don't think PRT and Mouth have a clear way in, as Swan is going to take care of this angle. He will take down Mouth, and that AWP of his could have found PRT, but he decides to go for the save. Not worth it to keep on fighting. 2 more rounds, though, and BHOP Esports will make this even deal. Do you remember the deficit they were at? Sojoga was almost tasting victory, and yet here we are, 2 rounds away from an even score again.
Yep, Sojoga has only won 2 rounds as the CT. Only 2. They were down, BHOP Esports are down 4-11. And then, now they're the ones with 11 with not 7, with no amount of 7 rounds of a difference. It's only 2 now. So the fact that we did see, all right, so the tactical pause coming from Sojoga, right? This is good. It means that they're trying to recollect themselves and replant their strategy. 15, well, not just a little bit amount of seconds right there to rethink their situation. Start to think about like, hey, okay, what are we doing that's wrong? Last time, a lot of them weren't hitting their shots whenever they were in a long door. Letting Ares claim 2 of their team members' lives was already a very, very big deficit. I can assure you, if the same thing had happened in that round in which we saw them trying to retake site, but Ares had gone down without taking, not even at least one of, not even both of them, right? At least one of them, I think this would have been a completely different thing. So it seems like that's what they're betting on right now, as they do have a complete buy, and we already see the mollies trying to stop anybody coming from the connector between tunnels. And right there, oh, just Silas taking one of them down, but immediately getting shut down by PRT. PRT with the second, and Tadazin also taking Beaky down, and now BHOP Esports, oh, the moment that Ares turns around, does it seem like that's the best for him? Landon just whipping out the pistol for the last round, the final bullet within Swan to take him down. And Sojoga GG 2 rounds away from taking this game for themselves. However, this will force a decider. BHOP Esports does not want to go into game 3. They want to take this as soon as they can.
For sure, that decider map of Inferno will not be the ideal situation for them. Reminder that Sojoga, whenever they, well, before this series, map they played, map they won. And Inferno was no different. They actually took Inferno with authority last series that they played against Infinity Esports. That was their first map, and they won 16-5. And then against Team DNA, 16-4. So you definitely don't want to give that to Sojoga. But it seems like they're trying to keep this at least even as BHOP tries to push in towards B site. We will see Brett peeking a little too much though, but he is going to claim DZT's life before going down himself. Now B-Key is out of there as well, so Sojoga back in control of B sites. Ares does not have a clear way in, and he is even going to be pushed back a bit more. He does want to go back through B. He knows that even though he still has time, his best bet is to play alongside Silas. And Silas is covering the entry through the lower B tunnels. Doesn't seem like anybody's approaching there, but it's only a matter of time before Tadazin and Mouth find them. They are peeking through the doors. Mid doors will be completely left alone by Silas, though. Had he waited a little bit longer, might have caught something there. They're leaving Landon alone, and Landon, all he needs is his AWP, as he is going to take them both down, bring us to a 15th round for Sojoga. And if they win the next one, that's it. We are going to a decider. Best case scenario for BHOP Esports, we see an overtime.
All right, and the thing is, we do want to see an overtime, but on behalf of BHOP Esports, they are going with the force buy. But we do see that not all of them have rifles. We already see a Tech 9 coming from a BHOP, and we see a Deagle as well coming from Swan. We do know that he is a sharpshooter of the team. He is a designator offer. So, if anything, I think that if there's he can do a lot of things with the Deagle. But now within this situation, we already see Beaky take a hefty amount of damage off of the util. And even though he does have the Kevlar and the vest, not quite going to do much right here. And the smoke to stop the molly off the car, maybe debated to thinking that somebody's there. Within that situation, a good moment to stop and think right there. We do see Landon with the op, not quite hitting the shot. He knows that there's somebody within pit, and he's rallying that information over to his team right there as they do go for a couple of shots. And the first interaction right there is DCT against Beaky, in which the latter takes the win. Eris looking like Arvis right here, almost trying to scorch alive, but not quite the case, just moving out of there. And they're just rotating towards Long A to catch anybody off right there. And we do see Beaky right on once again taking another one down. Right there, Swan. This is a 4v2 situation, and but PRT takes one of them, but this is the last one. So BHOP Esports is positioned primely to get this round, but the thing is, you see that they slowed down the things ever so slightly, right? They had to retrieve the bomb. Bomb has been retrieved, and now we do see that Moss once again with the Ninja. We see them do it once. Can he do it again?
It's all down to him. Mouth has not been playing the AWP quite as much. He keeps on picking good discipline with his WS, but unfortunately he will be caught by Ares right after the bomb plant. I don't know if he heard the bomb being planted, but still could have been a chance for him to go in. Sojoga, the curse seems to be real for them, as BHOP Esports is now 3 rounds away. They take one more, but that's another tactical pause. BHOP needs to ice their opponents out as much as possible. Won't be an easy feat, as Sojoga has made it through tighter situations and tighter spots. They're usually closers. They closed things out on their second map against Infinity Esports in their group stage set. But will they be able to defeat the invited team? By the way, I should also mention, BHOP Esports has won all of their series 2-1. They got a forfeit from Take Flight on their first playoff match, but then afterwards they defeated Electrify Steel 2-1 and Diamond Point University 2-1. So it seems that BHOP is destined to play 3 maps every series until now. But Sojoga will at least bring this to an overtime. I insist, if BHOP Esports does make the distance, they will bring us to overtime, not just a swift victory. Sojoga is still in a much better position to bring this to a decider map.
And rightfully so. It seems like that Asian map was a very good pick from BHOP, as they saw that Sojoga really hadn't played within that last map, so their tactics weren't as good as one would expect them to be. But we do see that Sojoga is forcing them into a situation where they're not really comfortable, at least for now. Because right here, even though we could see somebody peek right there, seems like the jump back is enough, and they heard that, so that's why they're starting to go with a bit of an approach right there. Well, trying to see anybody within the mid doors, not quite hitting their objective. And this is a 3-2 stack, 3 on A, 2 on B, just so that way they have some sort of defense. And we do see that at least one of the members is already positioned over there near, I think this, yep, they are on site, so this is short A. but they can rotate like the moment that they want to. They if they see that there's any need for them to go back to B, they can do so right here, as we do see them already opting to go right there short, not quite catching anybody, and they immediately return. That's good stuff. But the clock is ticking soon. 30 seconds left on the clock, and BHOP Esports, if they don't want this to go, at least not within their favor, Sojoga started at 20 seconds. They have to play time. They have to play time. One frag that they get, that's going to be it. If they get the frag on the person who has bomb, that's it.
Oh no, that's not a frag, but it is a kill on Bread. And Silas takes some damage as well. He will go in for the bomb plant though. Nobody interrupts him. And so Joga's own team members are gonna start falling. It's only Mouth left. And I don't think he's going to try and engage. He's actually going in for the save. So Joga's advantage slowly dwindling away. Dio. BHOP does not want to bring this to a decider map. They want the overtime. And they want to be dominant in that overtime as well, because they are going to start on T side if they do go to overtime. And we already saw how well this has been working for them. So Sojoga has not made a good case for their CT on Dust2. And we talked about how good they used to play it, but now they do have their kryptonite in front of them. It's called BHOP Esports. And it's called Swan's AWP. Silas is A1S. Sometimes his AK as well. Beaky's own A1S as well. Aris is key AK-47. And Brett, with whatever you give him, he will also make things work. On the other side, Sojoga, it's not that they are completely falling behind, but you can see DCT only achieving 10 kills so far. So he is the one with the worst KD in the map, even though Sojoga is winning. Wow, and DCT also going for the odd weapon pick.
The mag.
Hey, yeah, exactly.
I'm a shotgun fan, so and I'm sorry to interrupt you right there, but I am a shotgun fan. So if anything, I want
no
DCT
shade.
to get I want DCT to get that ace, bro. I want him to get the ace with the mag. Of course, this is a shotgun, so they have to force him to approach. Which you see him right there, just holding that angle, that vertical angle, because it's a very difficult angle to clear. So it's a good angle for the mag.
Will we see Swan taking care of mid doors? The wall of smoke seems to be deterring people away from fighting there. And now a molly being set up on Cat Boost as well. No chance for Brett to move forward, just gonna take a little time. And now they have open way. Landon forced to play pistols after all this time on his AWP. This is also the last round that Sojoga can give away, quote unquote, before things get really scary. Next round has to be full buy, has to be all or nothing. BHOP running out of util. They won't need much as they simply go in for the plant. And the intel is there, but you can see Sojoga taking their sweet time before moving forward. They're only going to send DZT in, the one with the mag, to try and get some kills here and there. They will have a showdown, and DZT ends up falling. The mag did not work, man. Sorry.
Unfortunate stuff to see overall, but right there, BHOP Esports on a spree, as we do see them try to hold things together. On the other side, Beaky just turning around for a moment, trying to see if there's anybody who wants to go for a flank, and just pre-firing any of those shots right there. But it seems like on the other side, we do see Landon with the mag, but no more time left. The fact that they did not go down means that they can preserve a little bit. Yes, he at least got one. He at least got one right there with the mag. Landon, I am your fan. But the thing is, they were hoping that maybe they were able to they got the offer, but the team member was able to get it once more. It's still Swan with the op, not having to buy it again. But on the other side, we do see an AUG coming from PRT. This is one of the only rifles that isn't a sniper rifle that can scope. So let's see what they can do with it, because you know for a fact that those scope rifles, they can do wonders in the right hands. And I do have to say that I do believe that PRT's hands are very, very well trained in any weapon that you place within them.
Now the all-out run from Sojoga is still lacking a lot of util. We saw most of it flown by already. And Sojoga holding their territory, holding on to a site. We have seen BHOP try time and time again to push here. They see the util being thrown as Brett is the first one to fall. Sojoga might bring us to a third map, a decider map, as they take a lot of damage. I mean, BHOP Esports taking a lot of damage from Beaky and Ares. They throw another nade, and Tennyson is only going to be slightly hurt, but guess what? They do get the intel to go forward and get 3 kills. That's it, everybody! Sojoga will bring us to a decider!